All right, guys, if you got questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'll start with Robin Washut.
And Fred, obviously, this was the end of quite the grind for you guys. Was this really the first time where, obviously you mentioned fatigue at the end of games the past two outings, but from the start, did you kind of sense that maybe the tank had run empty going into this one?
I sensed it some before the game, Robin. I still thought we went out and played with effort early and, hung around. I think it was a one-point game with a couple minutes left and, didn't finish the half well. I think we went in down 7. And second half, they came out, got a quick one, and then, we went on a nice run and cut that thing back to 1 with back-to-back threes by Delano, and we're right there. And then it just seemed like from that point on, they got every loose ball, they got every 50-50 ball, they got every offensive rebound, and kicked out. It seemed like every one of them led to a 3. And, that was the difference tonight, was the hustle plays that they made over us. And, we were, though. Generally I give my pregame talk, and, those guys fly up, they jump out of their seats, they sprint out the door, and they, go out and get ready for a good warm-up tonight. They all sat in their chairs for an extra 5 or 6 seconds and just kind of slowly got out of their chairs and walked out the door. So they're fatigued. The stretch we just went on after what we went through, capped off tonight with the 7 games in 12 days, was extremely difficult for our players. But, again, as I said, that's not an excuse to get outworked for those loose balls like we did tonight. We got to find a way to muster up the energy to go out there and make those plays.
Fred, how do you plan to enjoy your extended layoff now before you have to play again Saturday?
Yeah, we got an eternity now to prepare for Purdue. Tomorrow, I told the guys I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them in the gym. The guys that need to come in for treatments, come in and get them. Get the ice tub, get their bodies as recharged as possible for the short prep for Purdue. We'll have one day for an early game on Saturday, and then the time I think we'll really be able to hopefully get back is those 2 days after Purdue. And, it's going to give us time to get back on the practice floor. We've had 0 practice time. Our practices have consisted of, getting into a ballroom, and that's where we put in our adjustments this morning. And, we just, hopefully we'll get our bodies back to where you can go out and compete, because that has not been a problem for our team. Through everything going on, we have continued to come out and compete every time we stepped on the floor. Tonight we didn't have it, and it is disappointing. But again, when you look at what we've been through, there's a pretty good reason for it.
Sam McEwen.
Hey Fred, now that this run is over, 12-day run is over, did you guys have a choice in how this schedule played out? Originally, I think you guys were going to play at Penn State, and then you were going to come home and play Maryland, and then play Purdue. And it turned out to be these 2 road games. Was that something that the Big Ten simply imposed, or are they going to pay you back in some way with a couple of home games in a row, or why did it turn out the way it did?
Yeah, part of it was from a travel standpoint to while we were out here, play the back-to-back. We were actually scheduled, I think, originally to potentially play Tuesday, Thursday, and there was a game in between, and we did want to finish this off. If we were going to play out here twice, we wanted to get the back-to-back to get the guys home and to have a day off before we had to get ready for our home game at Purdue. The other thing about moving forward, we do have 4 home games potentially now in a row, depending on what happens with our schedule, and talking to the schedulers, potentially to have that. So, we'll see how it all plays out. But, if we were going to play on the road 2 straight games at Maryland, we did want to play the back-to-back to give us an extra day to prepare. Now, it probably cost us our legs here, but, I thought it was better to have a day off and then get a day to prepare and then move on to the next portion of our schedule. But, nothing's ideal. Obviously, when you get shut down for 26, 27 days, nothing's ideal, and you just got to try to make do the best you can.
I mean, you guys are at one end of the conference standing spectrum. The other team that's about to go through this is at the other end. Do you anticipate Michigan experiencing the same kind of thing that you guys just had to go through, where they have to play back-to-back road games?
It doesn't sound like it, Sam, from what I read today. And, we'll see what the Big Ten leadership decides on that.
Is that fair?
I don't know, Sam. Again, it's I don't know if anything's fair right now, just based on everything going on. in our world. It's just impossible to plan for, hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic like what's going on right now. You just make the best of whatever situation you have. And for us, our guys, they do want to compete. They want to get the opportunity to go out there and play. Right now, when I look at what Michigan's got going on, potential 1 seed. Right now, they are a 1 seed. They're looking at this thing a whole different way than we are right now. As far as right now we're building this thing for the future. We're in a completely different spot with our programs right now. So we do want opportunities to get our young guys minutes. I've been wanting to get Trevor out there. It's good to get Trevor some extended continuous minutes out there. Eduardo continues to go out there and play well, and these are invaluable minutes for him in his future. So for us, I do think as hard as this schedule's been, it's important for the future of our program. And, I think you've seen that with the growth of some of our players.
Thank you.
Jacob Padilla.
Down 21 there at the end. Teddy's still going at it, rips off an 11-0 personal run there at the end. What does that kind of say about him, just the fact that he's continuing to go hard there at the end of this long stretch?
Well, Teddy's always going to compete. I mean, Teddy's going to go to the rec center after the season. He's going to go in there and be talking and competing and doing everything he can to win. I mean, it's just who Teddy is. I thought he played really within himself early and let the game come to him. And I thought we had some great movement and good possessions early in the game because we were running our offense very well. Then at the end, I thought we got a little stagnant. Didn't finish off the half. Well, we did want to get a 2-for-1, but probably a better shot than what we ended up getting right there. But we did want that extra possession, that free possession at the end of the half. Unfortunately, we didn't score on either of them. And, like I said, second half we went out. I thought we ran our stuff beautifully early. And then, again, every mistake we made, Maryland capitalized on it. So give them credit for it. Turned it over. They turned it into a layup or a 3. 50-50 ball or an offensive rebound, it turned into a 3. They played really well. They're playing great basketball right now. Give this Maryland team and Mark Turgeon a lot of credit for the way that they're playing.
Kevin Knight.
Hey, Coach Hoiberg. Quick question on Thor. I know, there's a lot of different pieces on the roster this year, but last year it seems like he was the most efficient three-point shooter and would average about 4 attempts per game. This year he's down to 2.1 and shooting fairly less frequently in games, it feels like. Is that by design? Is there something going on, or it just isn't working to get him the ball at times?
No, it's not by design. Thor was one of our better shooters in the preseason this year. He shot over 40%. We chart every practice, and he shot the ball at a very similar clip to what he shot for the majority of the year last year. He dropped off a little bit towards the end. Some of the shots, I don't think he's hunting them quite as much as he was a year ago, probably because the confidence level's a little bit different. I talked to him and a lot about, going out there and trying to get that. I thought that 3 in the left corner, it was right on. It was, game of inches. It was, half an inch short of going in. He hit 2 huge ones for us at Penn State. So, we still want Thor looking to shoot. He was one of our better shooters a year ago. It was good to see Delano, knock down some threes on this trip. And hopefully that is something that can give him some momentum and confidence moving forward. But that's what this game's all about. It's such a game of confidence. Believe me, I've had both extremes of that. And when it's low, that rim doesn't look very big up there. So, just go out, continue to work, which all of our guys do. They spend a lot of time in the gym. The guys aren't shooting well. They're doing everything they can to correct it. So it's one of those things. Hopefully he'll have a game where he makes 3, makes 3 or 4, and that gets him going.
All right, that'll finish it up for us. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.